Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Tuesday. I am Gigi.
And I'm JG. Good
Oh,
morning, good morning.
good morning. I tell you, we're going to start this in here this morning because my car says 36 degrees. It's cold out there. It's cold in the 757. The highest it's going to get is about 45. But this is the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I got a gem nugget today. Tonight, I'm going to be teaching on Church School Live a lesson, and the title is Expectant Mother's Faith. And we're going to talk about the faith of Elizabeth, who was the mother of John the Baptist, and Mary, who's the mother of Jesus. Expectant mother's faith. But my gem nugget today, I got to deal with it. I'm going to mess with the men today, Pastor. I'm sorry. It's not about you. I'm gonna mess with the men today.
No problem.
Because when I was thinking about Zachariah, who was the father of John the Baptist, and the angel came to Zachariah, and he gave him so many details about what was going to happen. It started in Luke, and it was talking about Zachariah and Elizabeth. They were upright. And when the same angel, Gabriel, came to Zachariah, he said, fear not, Zachariah, your prayers heard. Your wife Elizabeth, she's going to bear a son. You're going to call his name John. You shall have joy and gladness. Many will rejoice at his birth. I mean, Gabriel gave him so many details. For he shall be great in the sight of the Lord, and shall drink no wine or strong drink. He shall be filled with the Holy Ghost, even from his mother's womb. Many of the children of Israel shall turn to the Lord their God. And he just went on and on and on. And Zachariah had the nerve to ask the angel, whereby shall I know this? For I am an old man, and my wife is stricken in years. Now look now Zachariah, like I said, Gabriel told Zachariah more than he told Elizabeth, Mary, or Joseph. And then Zachariah turns around. Now this is my gem nugget today. Believe the promise keeper. God had promised this back in his word. Zachariah was a priest. He knew this. And the other thing is that he knew that the patriarch, Abraham, and his wife went through the same thing. His wife was old, and they had a son that God gave them. And Zachariah should have known better. I know it was a surprise and everything, but the reason I know that Zachariah should have had more, should have believed more, because the angel turned around and said, hey, I am Gabriel, and I stand in the presence of God. And guess what, Zachariah? Thou shalt be dumb and not be able to speak until the day that these things shall be performed, because, here it is right here, because thou believest not my words, which shall be fulfilled in this season. See, man does not believe in God. And it's a lot of time, and like I said, not you, Pastor, but a lot of those of the male species don't believe God, even when you have all the facts, when God has given all the facts. Because when we look at the women tonight in the lesson, Elizabeth and Mary, although Mary asked how would these things be, nothing had happened like this before. So she had a right to ask how was she going to have a baby not knowing a man. But Zachariah knew, and Elizabeth knew that this was possible because it had happened before. Now Joseph believed the angel. He believed it right away because he had been troubled and he didn't want to put Mary away. But we need to believe God, because Numbers 23:19 says God is not a man that he should lie, or a son of man that he should change his mind. Does he speak and not act? Does he, here's the word, promise and not fulfill? So you need to believe the promise keeper. I know sometimes God may come with things because it hasn't happened before, and we might have some doubt, but when you know what God has done before, that's why the angel made Zachariah dumb, because he should have known better. And I believe the reason also why he kept him dumb until John was born, because if John continued to speak, he would have planted seeds of doubt even in Elizabeth while she was carrying that baby. What you think about that, Pastor? About believe? You got to believe the promise keeper. You know how the song said, way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. You are God. So why do you think we don't believe God like we should, Pastor?
Well, I just wanted to say something about in faith of manhood. I think it's not all that Zacharias had believed. You remember he was a priest.
Right.
And he was in a high standard that he can go in the holiness of holiness.
Right.
So I don't believe that there's a problem with belief, but it was a mixture of challenging the angel.
Right.
We as men always want to challenge something. We believe that you say something, but can you do it? And I remember when some people went to Africa, and T.D. Jakes went to Africa, and he was talking about they don't believe what you say, they believe what you do. And I think that's where a lot of men is, so many people say stuff. Cause remember, Zacharias used to take a lot of testimonies, and a lot of people give petitions to him to take to the holiness, and they have to do it, So he challenged the angel. It was mixed with belief too, but because his wife was old and they've been trying, But moving on faith, we all have a certain limit. That's why he said, "Pray for my unbelief."
I doubt, but
because it's a mixture of faith versus challenge.
So I think our challenge today is that we should ask the Lord to help us believe. Just help us believe. Remove that doubt and help us believe. But I always notice that the women, it seems like they just take God for his word, regardless. They're more open to what God is saying. But I ask you to join me tonight for Church School Live, because this is going to be a wonderful lesson tonight that we learn from these expectant mothers, their faith, because we're talking about a faith that pleases God. And what a wonderful lesson that we are going to see tonight. We're not going to mention the men tonight. We're just going to talk about these expectant mothers. But we're going to get ready to get out here on this track before it gets real cold. But don't forget, believe the promise keeper. If it's in his word, he promised it, it's going to happen. And don't forget to subscribe to the Gem Nugget channel, and so you can catch all these nuggets. But you be blessed and you be warm. But I'm gonna leave you with this.